Peace and blessings, everybody. It's your girl Wendy Zizzo here with Nappy Red and Kirk the Jerk, and we are Awareness Academy 411. Here to give you the 411 on, what's going on in the world, give you our 2 cents about some things, drop a little bit of knowledge, kind of like dollars, and whatever it applies for you, let it apply. And if it don't, let it fly. And whatever you try at home is on you. It's for educational purposes only. But
Yep.
please like, share, comment, subscribe. Awareness Academy 411. So let's take it away with the sound off with Red. Hit him.
Okay. Today in Sound Off, we're going to talk about two topics that I want to talk about. One topic is on Facebook. A lot of people were seeing it and everything. But I came up with another topic real quick because today is Friday the 13th. So, people put that as bad luck and all that stuff. But my thing is this: it's knowledge, understanding. So you got to know the knowledge and understand what that number is too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people put evil with that number and everything. So if you put evil and bring that energy around you, you're going to get the bad results to it. But if you keep it good and keep it normal, you'll get the good energy with that. So stop. I'm just letting people know, like Friday the 13th, stop putting yourself out there. Like, you know what I'm saying, you're going to make something happen to you if you sit there and believe in the negative stuff. That's what I want to talk about, really, about that.
I love that you brought this up, because what's interesting about the number 13, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on y'all. So the number 13 represents the feminine energy. It represents the divine feminine. And if you see in nature, 13 is like, we're supposed to have 13 calendar months. A woman has there's 13 moons a year, you know what I mean? And even if you count the back of a turtle, there's 13 little squares on his back, and women are in tune with that number. So if you look at patriarchy, had to demonize the feminine energy in order for it to get to where it is. So anything that was having anything to do with feminine, they demonized or changed up in some way. So 13 is actually a high vibration number of abundance. When you're manifesting, because like, what does a woman do? She multiplies. The feminine energy multiplies. So whatever, like what Red said, whatever you putting out is what you're gonna get back double. So today's a day that you need to be thinking about your dreams and your aspirations and the goal that you want to live. I'll even tell people to go as far as like, close your eyes and just imagine what your life, how would you feel, walk, talk, just your demeanor. How would all of that be if you had exactly what you wanted here and now? And just practice being that state of being. And with this vibration and with this energy, the 13, it'll just amplify that. So if you focusing on a negative, like Red said, you're gonna amplify it.
That's true.
So this is amplifying energy. So I've been in my woosah all day. Well, I had nothing really pissed me off today, but except for
today's been a remarkable day, right?
It's been a great day. I mean, I'm happy to be here. And everybody out there that's watching, hello.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love. We're always grateful for our people watching. Please don't hold back with commenting and sharing and spread your knowledge.
It's okay, we can take it.
Bring it on. But the second topic I want to talk about on the sound off is, I'm talking about gangbangers like Bloods, Crips, Yetis, Latin Kings, all the gang members. If y'all all go out and buy some life insurance, and a lot of people, I'm serious, a lot of people get killed. They get killed, the rivals and all that stuff. And you put $100,000 or $200,000 on a gang member, you know how many times the company's gonna have to pay out?
Listen, they would change laws.
Exactly.
If every black person in America went and got life insurance, cops would be doing less. A lot of people would be doing less. because the insurance company is gonna be like, nah,
we're not paying all this money.
Only dropping bodies.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
But
they're gonna be like,
but
nah.
somebody told me this a long time ago, and I just have wanted to put it back out there. Is like, and not just black people. I'm talking about any gang member. You could be the mob, you could be the anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything dealing with criminal, and it's a lot of murders in that. So you know what I'm saying? If a lot of people put themselves on life insurance, yeah, they will be like, hold on, wait a minute, we gotta have to do something about this.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, just understanding life insurance tools anyway is so important. Like, one of the things that they purposely did not teach us in school was about financial literacy and life insurance, trusts, stocks, 401k. All that information is part of financial literacy. And there's ways to use insurance as your own bank, you know. So like we I know Kurt knows
insurance.
What'd you say, Kurt?
Especially with life insurance, that's what they do with life insurance.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do. They you get a policy. Universal policy is term policy is good too if you're young, because at some point it goes to zero once you get a significant age, because at some point you ain't gonna need to be giving nobody no money to bury you once they get old, your kids. But ultimately, universal policy, you can do that where, you know, you can borrow the cash value and pay it back at interest, but the interest go back to you. So even though you're paying interest, it's your money you giving back to yourself.
Yep.
And keep on borrowing your money.
Yep.
You know, they don't get no better than that.
Urge young people, if you are under the age of 25, please figure it out. I don't care if you got to get a second or third job. You need to be investing at minimum $100 a month into a Roth IRA. Like, seriously, you know, learning about compounding interest. You know, you could be a millionaire by the time you're 35.
Exactly. And plus, people that's listening, I want y'all to comment on that. What y'all think about if gangbangers get life insurance? Do you think that'll help out controlling like some criminal stuff that's going on in the world?
Could be.
That sounds good.
I would say the thing that came to mind, but that'd just be foul, so I ain't. I'm not even gonna say that. I don't want to give nobody no ideas.
You can say horrible.
Nah, I don't want to give people ideas. So moving along, things going on in the world. So real quick, that plane crash in India, insane. It was a 272, actually 71 people perished in that, and one person walked out of that crash. Now, I know about NDEs, you know, like when people die, but then they choose to come back because they're like, nah, I'm not done yet, or they get sent back because they ain't done yet. That dude wasn't done yet, because the fact that you walked like on your feet out of a plane crash that killed 271 people.
241 people died.
It was 41, or I thought it was 71.
No, 241.
41. Okay, it was 41. Yeah, I thought it was 72, 71. But my bad. I misspoke. My bad. But no, real talk. Like, he's in the bed talking. Like, they was interviewing him, asking him questions. Like, he's gonna be fine, you know, physically. You know, but
physically he's gonna be fine, but mentally he's gonna be
mentally he's gonna have survivor's guilt for sure.
How do you? I don't even think it. I think he just like trying to get home, because he looked like, I ain't gonna lie, the way he was like, get off of me when the reporters are trying to talk to him. He's like, yo, get off me, man, get off me. I almost felt like this nigga like, yo, he from the streets. He's like, he found a way to survive. He survived with somebody back or something. He looked like a gladiator.
Plane crash. Leave me alone.
It looked like he was just like, he won't be bothered with. He's like, nigga, I'm trying to go home, man. It is what it is. I'm alive, whatever.
Yeah,
but you got people on there.
Insane, but you know, my condolences to all the families and the people affected in that crash.
He was in flight
11A, and when they were interviewing him, the bed that he was laying in was bed number 11, and the crash happened on the 11th.
But 11 is a lucky number in Indian. That's a lucky number for Indian. It's an angel number. So that's kind of funny how they put that out there. So since that's an angel number, they saying he's blessed and everybody ain't. But I said, so God just killed people then? God said, you know what? We'll save him because he's an 11. But everybody else got all of
you gotta put it like that for God.
Now, I'm just playing. Yo, people, I apologize. Yo, my heart goes out to all the people, 200 something people that passed away, 241. And that's crazy. 169 of them was Indians too. It was Indians from India and stuff. So it's like
crazy. But yeah, definitely that's some interesting. But now on the west side of the world, we got so there's an interesting thing that Trump is doing. He's having a birthday party, a military style parade for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, people they're doing this no king protests all around the United States. It's insane, right? I 100% understand people's intention with doing all the protesting, even the people that are supporting, but most of the people that are protesting that are against this. I want to make a very strong point of something. There's something called universal law, right? Like you can't have an up without a down, an inside to a room without an outside. You can't have a left without a right. That's the law of opposites. Then you have the law of perpetual transmutation, which is whatever it is that you're constantly thinking of is what will manifest into reality, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have the law of, let's see, there's a law of rhythm. There's the law of, I said the opposite, the law of gender, the law of, there's a whole lot of them. But my point is that the more energy you put towards any given thing, the bigger and more powerful it gets. So the people that are protesting and against, like what you resist persists. The more you resist something, the stronger it's going to get. Just like, you know, if you're trying to avoid a problem, the more you try to avoid that problem or the more you complain about that problem, you're putting resistance on it and now it gets bigger. So my point is that if people understood universal law, nobody would be protesting. We would all be putting our energy towards what we actually want. We want peace, love, and harmony and a great economy, right? If everybody in United States just focus towards what we actually want and not what we don't want, that is what we'll give power to. But I understand that we're giving this man power.
I personally disagree, though. The only reason why I say that is because, and you know, I'm not a professional like you in that area, so I only disagree from behavior science. If somebody's able to, because right now, if anybody understands the science of Trump and you understand Project 2025, what Trump is trying to do right now is keep on pushing limits, see what he can get away with, see how the public react to it, see if the courts is going to push back. And he's doing it over and over and over. And he's going to keep on going extreme because it's not necessarily Trump. There's a guy that's behind him that's extremely smart that I'm not going to mention his name. That's the author of Project 2025 that he has in his cabinet. That is very, very, very well educated, rich man that knows how to push limits. And he's the one that pretty much put the book together. So that's what he's doing. He's pushing.
I agree with you that he's pushing.
If you don't push back in no way possible, we have to have some kind of chaos. Because if we don't do the chaos part, like push back, then this gonna be China regime in like maybe in a year because we're not pushing back.
Let's rewind the tape, right?
Yeah.
Trump would have never made it into office if he wasn't hated so much in the very beginning, because one of the other laws, and this is the law that I'm mainly focusing on with this conversation, is the law of attraction, right? So where attention goes, energy flows. So the more people are hating him, the more people are pissed off and upset, that you're giving it more power is what I'm saying. So I'm not disagreeing with you that he's pushing the limits. Absolutely, because he understands this law. He understands, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's doing it on purpose because he knows the more he pushes shit, the more, just like Kanye. Kanye does the same thing because Kanye understands this law. He does outrageous, outlandish shit, and that gives him attention, and people are buying more of his products, and he's making money. Like, this is why even in the music business, or not even just the entertainment business in period, why do these artists put on these crazy outfits. They're trying to get attention.
They
So the
weirdos.
more attention they
They're trying
get,
to be weirdos like they are.
They weirdos.
shoot it. I'm not gonna disagree
Weirdos.
with them. I mean, you have to have a level. I guess that's why I didn't make it in
They're
music.
weirdos.
I wasn't willing to get that weird. But
I think most of them been touched when they was little. They weirdos.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Wearing those outfits I see them wear, I said, bruh, I just want to know if you getting a bag for that. Those weird outfits, those
my
fashion
point
stuff
is
is
that
crazy.
by doing these things, you're invoking attention, and where
Yeah,
attention goes, energy flows. So that's
Yep.
why these people gain more power, because we're giving them our power. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying about this. I'm
No,
not
no,
telling
you-
people don't, do what you feel in your heart.
You gotta rip
based
shit
off of
apart,
your
though.
understanding is what you think is gonna work, but
You gotta rip shit. Let me tell you something. If you look at history, the reason why we even had civil rights is because people was tearing shit up in the street and burning shit down and protesting and getting beat up and
but
stabbed.
do we really did it really help us
Yeah,
though?
that's what it was. And Lyndon
Civil
Baines,
rights-
Help with.
Civil
about it.
rights
Lyndon
helped
Baines Johnson
everybody.
was
It
a
wasn't
help.
just black people.
Lyndon Baines Johnson was a known racist. He was an extreme
Everybody,
racist.
huh?
Lyndon Baines Johnson, even though he signed that bill, he was a known racist. Everybody knew he's a racist. Because back then, what white man wasn't racist? It was just, it was like changing clothes. That was just a normal behavior. But the idea is that the bill was passed because there was so much pressure. The only way you could put pressure is by being antagonizing. The only power we got is to be ruthless. And I'm not saying protesting is the whole thing. No, protesting is one of many strategies that has to be done. Protesting has to be done because you let the world know what's going on with these circumstances. Like, people won't know what's going on with black people unless we out there in the streets. People are like, oh, why black people rioting? Because some people is going to look at it and say, wait a second, they acting crazy. Why they acting crazy? What's going on?
No, they ain't gonna ask why we acting crazy, because they're gonna say that we are crazy. That's why we acting crazy.
No, you're gonna have a lot of people, but you got a lot of people that's scared of black people because we just look black. That's gonna be
that was programmed. That's all program mindset. You know what I
But
mean?
if you're scared of something, you're gonna study something. Like, if I'm scared of something, I'm gonna study it because I want to know how can I either defeat it. Because if you're not scared of something, you don't care about it. We the most feared people on this planet. Why? Because we're genetically superior. So they're automatically scared of us. And if they're scared of us, they constantly find ways to strategically try to take us down. If it's not through the food, if it's not through laws, they always finding a way. And the reason why they keep on, like I said, when you see all these immigrants, these Spanish immigrants getting taken and deported, they just nothing comparison to black people. They worried about us more than anything, but they take their eye off us for a second because they want to play around with this situation to agitate, while they rolling back mad different policies that affects black people. Like, for example, the civil rights, when it came to black people in the injustice system, the criminal justice system, where the dissent decree, they got rid of the dissent decree. Trump got rid of that. And then all the black heroes like Jackie Robinson, now he was just a baseball player, he was a war hero. They got rid of him. They got rid of him out of the site. If you go to the site, you can't find it.
They took a lot of black history.
And it was no DEI back then. Remember, Jackie Robinson, you talking about 1920s. They had no
DEI has nothing to do with black people. They just make it have something to do with black people. DEI did not benefit black people nowhere near as much.
They make it all about black. Think about it. When people talk about DEI, they automatically come to the mindset of black people, even though we didn't even benefit the most. But that's the biggest topic. So when Trump talks about it, you got to know that he's talking about black people. He's not talking about nothing else. He's not talking about the veterans. He's not talking about the white women that benefit. He's not talking about the gay men that benefit. He's focused on black people. So when they talk about anti-woke and all that stuff, you know that's just black only. It's nobody else. Yeah. They focus on us. We are the menu. We gotta really open our eyes.
The thing is this: why would people be so obsessed? Because they know that, number one, we don't know how powerful we are because we forgot. They erased that from our conscious minds. It's in our subconscious. That's why we still do certain practices unconsciously. Like a good example is when somebody dies, right? Somebody will pour out a drink for them. That's libation. That's in our culture from thousands and thousands of years. We've been doing that for thousands of years. So there's some things that we do that are just coming straight from our DNA, but they've been trying to re-alter and pollute and water down our DNA as much as possible, damage it so that we're not remembering who and what we are. And one of the points I was trying to make is understanding universal law and just the way the law of nature works. Like, I'm not disagreeing, we have to, march and da-da-da. All right, fine,
Fuck
cool.
that marching.
But my point is that if you
I'm not marching, but I want people to march.
I'm saying if everybody collectively understood universal law, just the law of attraction alone, we can change the game. But I'm just bringing it up because I want to plant the seed about it. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to just law of attraction. What's she talking about? If you want to know, there's a book called The Secret, and there's also a movie called The Secret. I feel like that is a good way to get a just your foundational understanding of the law of attraction and how it works. And this is a universal law. Like, this is unchangeable. You know what I mean? Like the law. Well, it's gravity is a theory, but really, it's like
no, you hit it right on the mark. And the only thing I just think is scary is that I won't say scary. I won't use that word, but I think is extremely concerning because marching is important. A lot of people don't understand what marching, like why is the point of marching. Marching is just one point. Everybody know that black people get treated bad. So marching, I understand when some people say, what's the point of it? Everybody know.
Well, this marching right now don't got nothing to do with black people. This marching has everything to do with everybody in America, just not with what's going on. That's because this is a collective thing, which is good. I feel like we need something to bring us together, but we'll see what happens.
You got black people like, oh, good for them. They voted for them anyway. I said, let me tell you something. The last thing you don't want is more lawlessness in this country where the government is able to do any and everything they want to do. You know why?
You mean like what they're doing in LA right now?
The way they doing it, don't get me wrong, it doesn't affect us per se, but understand that the idea is to gain more power by doing all kinds of things that's against the federal law. So when it comes time for us, guess what? Now we on the menu now. Now the stuff that they had, the little guardrails, the little baby guardrails they had against doing certain things to black people, now is going to be all allowed. Why? Because he broken out the government. He broken the government down. Where he's able to do any and everything. So I look at
hired for. He's doing the job. He's doing the job he was hired for.
No, he wasn't hired. The American people didn't hire him to do that. The American people.
Hold up, real quick. Yeah. They did find that.
Some white people did.
I forgot which swing state it was. I think it was Wisconsin. I forgot which swing state, but they found they dug into the polls and found that Kamala had actually won that state. So she technically did win the election. However, they're not going to change it too. During his rallies before he got elected, he did say multiple times, we don't even need y'all votes. We got all the votes we need. How do you have all the votes you need? Because your boy over here messing with the computers. So, duh.
Allegedly. We don't want to get sued by Elon.
Allegedly.
We don't got the kind of...
Allegedly.
You sue us, you be practicing, bro. Let me borrow $1 million. I'll start saying some nice stuff about you.
Like I said, we'll just see what happens. I would say in the meantime, between time, people just focus on what you can that can help make your day feel better, because that's what you actually have control over.
We need to be planning, because this is what I see. The reason why I'm always watching and looking at everything I could possibly look at. I look at foreign news, I look at American news, and the reason why is because most black people don't wear that. We actually at war. We at war right now. We at war on a bigger scale.
What you gonna say, Red?
And I see it.
We've been at war.
Everything is happening. I've been talking about it for months, and then it happens, and people be surprised. I'm like, listen, like when they was talking about the migrant situation, I looked at one of my videos from YouTube. One of the clips that we made, and I said, you think that he's only gonna go after the people that's criminals? If anybody aware of how many people came across this country that's not criminals, that's productive citizens to society, whether they came here illegally or not?
He's rolling back some. He's rolling back now because the farmers are hurting right now because most of their workers that have been with them 10, 20 years are gone now. So he's rolling back a little bit now. Talk about, those were fine people that were working, and we got to bring them back. I'm like, wow.
See, like the media and all that is giving him too much too much. People's talking about him too much, so he's going to
We
stay
are.
irrelevant.
No. He deserves a conversation, but a
It's
real
a conversation. We're gonna switch gears in a second.
No,
Go
he
ahead, Red.
deserves Trump. Let me tell you something. This is affect all our lives. Right now, I'm being directly affected with the post office. We got the new postmaster general, so that's a whole different issue that I'm not even going to talk about. I didn't want to mention the post office on here, but it's affecting our lives, so it's something to talk about. But let's talk about the truth of it. The problem is the media is spinning it and they articulate it in a way it doesn't look bad for him. And I'm sitting there like, y'all all just giving him media coverage. Y'all all scared to get sued now. So y'all giving him real media coverage. And that's the reason why I do look at a lot of YouTube channels that tells the truth. Like they say, nah, that's bullshit. Nah, this is not. This is what's really happening.
Well, allegedly, all of the media companies are all being controlled by the same people. So allegedly,
everything is
different families. The different families is controlling. Them. Like for example, Reuben Murdoch. The reason why I give Reuben Murdoch his props, I hate him for Fox News because Fox News sucks. They're all actors. They lie all day long. But he also got one of the Black Power movement channels that's part of Reuben Murdoch too. So it's funny how he played both sides. He got black people that's progressive that talk about real black issues, and then he's straight honest on his own
people. Listen. That's that.
Yeah.
These are the same people that the level that they're at, right?
Yeah.
They're given certain information about education of the law of attraction. You have to understand that when people are at a certain level of mindset and even tax bracket, you can't not learn about this stuff that I'm talking about, because now you have to learn how to use it to your benefit, and they've been doing that since the beginning here, especially in America. Like these people understood these laws. Like I'll even go as far as, and no disrespect to the ones that's out there trying to do positive, but the Masons understand this information. It's called sacred geometry. And this is all part of, now I'm putting it out there because this is universal law. Like people need to understand that this information is real. Like it's all around us. Look on the back of the dollar bill. Like all of these things on the back of the dollar bill, you think that that's there because it's just decoration? No. All this stuff is there deliberately. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The Awareness Academy 411.
See now, it's like this. It's like how did gangs get to know to make money and be criminals and everything?
How?
Everybody learned from the other
somewhere.
People. No, they learned from the other people. They started all of this. So when my thing is this, I get mad when people talk about Bloods and Crips and such and such and such. But if you look at it, when a lot of people that came over from different countries, they started the gangs and right there in Manhattan. You had the Irish, the Italians.
Jewish
gangs too. Yeah, they was the first gang. So now when black people or brown people,
the founding fathers was the first gang.
Yeah. They
that's funny. That's a good one. Yeah, you're right.
And they all signed the same document.
You signed this document.
The crazy part, when we learn and we adapt to it, they get mad because we outsmart them. But they got the most power. So you know what I'm saying? And they've been doing that with the Jim Crow.
The Italians did it right, though. The Italians, I think, when it came to the gang, because remember, think about, you got brothers in the hood glorifying a lot of Italians, like, and the Tommy guns, and at the end of the day, a lot of Italian people don't like us, but they wasn't considered white before 1940s. So the reason why they doing better, the reason why Italians and Irish and Jewish people are doing better, and this is public knowledge, so I could say this and I don't have to say alleged. They got white status in 1940s. They wasn't considered white before 1940s. So the reason why the government gave them white status is because they needed them to help them to fight the war, but also they gave them white status where they still occupy to this day. The Jewish community got the local government. All the local government jobs and a lot of federal government jobs, there's a lot of Jewish people. Rothenberger, Dissenberger, Dattenberger, Rothstein. those are all Jewish names that the government gave them local, and the same thing with the fire department. The fire department was given to the Italians. They gave it to them, and that's the reason why if you look at the
bombs right now on them.
department, most of them Italian. If you look at New York City, all Italian all over the place. You got a few sprinkled in here that's Spanish that try to act Italian, and then you got
Irish.
and then the Irish is the police force. We know that. We think they play that when some cop died. You play that song.
Yeah.
Oh, they play the bagpipes.
Because they got the police force and the government, and that's why I said the government has ability to give us stimulus too. They gave them stimulus in the form of jobs, and they occupy to this day. They the number one occupier of those positions.
You know what's also bugged out is how any person that's not black has an issue with black people getting reparations, and it bugs me out because they gave white people reparations, and people are like, oh, I didn't get none. Yes, they did. When they freed the slaves, they gave people in the South reparations for losing their property. So it just bugs me out how anybody out there that is against black people getting reparations, because they're like, oh, I didn't get reparations. Yes, your ancestors did. Yes, they did. That's how y'all probably got land now to this day that your great grandma has been in. You know what I mean? Like
the stolen land. We don't even have to go to slavery. We could just talk about not so much in pretty much recent times where land was just taken and they was telling black people you better leave the land or we'll kill you. They had situations like that happen all over.
They gave them the 40 acres and the mule, and then they took it back.
Yeah, they did. You got places like North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, where the government acknowledged the situation and they want to give some type of stimulus. You got California allegedly said that they wanted to give stimulus because they realized a lot of situations too. There's places that's aware of what's going on, and then places, black striving communities where they burn it down, they turn that shit into a pool.
Yeah,
they turn that shit into a goddamn lake.
But,
they flooded it out and turned it to a lake. They knew enough about science back then to turn those shits into lakes. And if you go into some of those cities, those cities where you was a small city, you could literally look down and still see some buildings down there, all kinds of shit.
Tulsa alone deserves. I mean, I think there's only a handful of survivors left that were children during Tulsa. Like,
yeah,
they deserve the ultimate
I think it's like two of them. I think it's like two of them still.
One person, I think 103 or something like that. 104.
Yeah, so it's something that we have to keep alive so that, don't forget Tulsa. Just like we ain't supposed to forget everything else.
But also remember, it was a Tulsa in every state.
Yeah, we had Rosewood. Rosewood got burned down. It was
about every state, because if you look at it back then, you couldn't live in a white neighborhood, so we had to make our own neighborhoods. And
that's a fact. Yeah.
But when we made our own neighborhoods, we had to help each other out, and that's where they said, hold on, wait a minute, if we divide them, we can win, and that's what they did.
And that's why they allowed the civil rights.
Exactly.
Was to divide us.
That's why I was telling people.
I said, was the civil rights really to help us? No, it wasn't. It was to divide us.
Look.
What Dr. King wanted was equal treatment. That's what he wanted, was equal treatment.
But look, the civil rights died out, right? Died out. And then that's when the Black Lives Matter came. Every 30 years, they come up with a different title for the civil rights movement.
Now, the Black Lives Matter, we know that was pretty much manipulated and controlled by rich people. Because remember, when you got and I don't want to I would say alleged, but I know to me I believe it's a fact, and this is a matter of my opinion. NAACP, right? People don't even aware why they were started in the first place. They were started to control the progress of black people, meaning control the degree of progress. Meaning that we're going to make progress, but we're going to make the slowest progress possible. Why? Because the people in charge don't look like me and you. And they did that on purpose for so many years, where now you start to see people that look like us at the top of the umbrella of it, but they sellouts.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff they've been quiet on. They've been quiet on a lot of stuff.
It's a couple though.
And look at
I want to shift gears a bit, because this type of conversation, after a while, I get annoyed at this conversation, because I'm just not right now, but I'm saying it starts to hurt my heart, because I know, that whole just that paradigm of what's going on. So it's just like, but one of the things I did want to bring up, rest in peace to Ananda Lewis. She passed away,
Rest in
52
peace.
years old of breast cancer. And there's a lot of people that are mad at her because she chose to go the holistic route. And they're saying, oh, she should have. There's only one thing from watching this whole thing unfold for me that I'm going to actually agree with. And this was something I've been against. And I want to urge women out there, too, to take heed to this. Get a mammogram. Like, you know, when you after you're 40, get it. Like I was always on some nah, I'm not getting no mammogram. I would get a sonogram instead. But realistically, I think it's important to at least just check yourself out. Because with her, she didn't get the mammogram. And when she felt, by the time she felt something herself, it was already past a certain stage where now, you know, it got a little worse when they could have caught it maybe sooner. And the thing is that people talk about is her mom had breast cancer, right? But her,
Oh wow! So
her mom did the medical route and she still passed away. So when people try to argue, oh, if she would have did the medical, she would have probably survived. We don't know that because it is not 100% guaranteed that if you take the medical treatments, that's gonna you know, give you a higher survival rate. Because cancer, I'm sorry, not the cancer, the chemo and the radiation is way worse than the cancer.
that might kill you.
Of it. It's terrible. You know what I mean? And I can attest to it because I did 9 months of chemotherapy. Do I think the chemotherapy is why I'm still here today? Not necessarily, because I was in a room full of people. I want to say there had to be about maybe 25, 30 patients that were getting treatment at the same time I was. Like I could see them across the way. We all hooked up to this poison, right? And I'm the only one still alive this day now. So it's not guaranteed that that's what saved me. I feel like because one of the differences between me and them was my mindset and the way I handled it. Because I used to see them, you know, all the other people in the room, they was all sad. Everybody had their head down. They're upset. You know, they're stressing about what's happening, and totally understandable. I'm not saying that they're wrong for that. But my point is that me, I was on the other side. I had beats playing. And my, you know, I'm writing rhymes, I'm writing poems, you know, my mindset was just totally different, just how I carried myself. Like people didn't even believe me that I was sick because, you know, I still walked around with a smile on my face. And I was just like, well, how am I supposed to act? You know what I mean? Just because I'm sick, you know, but just because I have stage 4 cancer, I'm supposed to walk around with my head down. Like,
so basically, you just say incorporate. All right, this is a new situation. I'm gonna incorporate it to my life, and I'm gonna live my life the best way I can until
like I mean, for me, it was like, you know what? I've been dealing with so much shit in my life leading up to that. It's like, all right, well, here's just another thing. All right, let's do it. You know what I mean? It was more like, and I would say maybe my youth was part of my ignorance in it, but at the same time, it was really just my personality. You know,
I think that saved your life.
Yeah,
I think it saved your life.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not going to agree 100% that chemo, you know, and other medical treatments is the best option because you will survive. That's not true. There's people that went the holistic route that survived as well. You know what I mean? So,
but Steve Jobs, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you though, was because I was when I found
pancreatic cancer is hard, whether it's chemo or the way he went. Pancreatic cancer.
But he went the natural way. He went the natural way and died. So that kind of like messed me up. I'm like, damn, that nigga billionaire. Not enough people to tell him which one what he could take to help him. Like,
realistically, and you can ask a doctor. Pancreatic cancer is one of the hardest cancers to treat.
Yeah.
Even with chemotherapy, people still die with pancreatic cancer. You know what I mean? Because it's one of the toughest to treat. So that's where his cancer was, you know. And in my opinion, people, you know, allegedly, the energy that comes off of these phones, having them on your hip all day, keeping them in your pocket all day, putting it on your chest or anywhere close to your body all day, you're sending electromagnetic frequencies from the phone into your body. And Steve Jobs used to keep 2 phones. He used to have a phone on both sides of his hips. So I'm not saying that caused his cancer, but I think it greatly, you know, contributed to it.
Increase the probability. What about having a radar? Like for example, at work, because I carry a scanner. I ain't gonna mention my job. People
Nah,
didn't.
your scanner. I don't think the scanner's doing the same
No,
thing
no,
that with the
my
phone.
scanner look like a cell phone. No, I'm talking about the scanner I use for work. It looked like a
Oh,
cell phone.
I don't know what they work off of now, but what
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can do for their
No, no,
phone.
I was getting to what I was saying.
Okay,
I got a special holster that blocks radiation, block
that
everything.
one right here on my
Yeah.
phone.
No, but I'm talking about the holster, so I put it in and out, because I can't put a case on a work item
True.
and
No,
stuff
I
like
get. Well, this is they sell stickers that you can stick on your phone or your tablet or your computers,
that. Yeah,
and these things help. Put them next to your bed. Organite
I want to
is
try it. I want
um.
to try it because I got a radar. I got to find. I got a radar detector.
So I'll just give people a quick rundown of what Organite is. So I don't know, crystals are real. Like they're not something that's just a woo woo thing. Like crystals actually hold and transfer energy. That's why they use quartz crystal in computers, watches, anything that conducts electricity on a, in a confined space, in a sense. They use crystals for that. So organite is a combination of crystals, inorganic and organic materials, all put together in like a resin. And what that does is it attracts negative energy into it. And because of the reaction of all of these materials together, it like causes a friction, and then it releases positive energy. So they've done experiments with this. There was a guy in, I think it was the 50s or the 60s. He created a box big enough for someone to sit in. He called it an organ generator. And
I heard
people
that
that
before.
would sit in it a few hours a day would heal their ailments, whether they had cancer, they had tumors, or whatever. It was healing their bodies. And this is, again, more spiritual science that I like to give people, because that's my thing. I'm in spiritual science. Like, this is organite right here. These are, and I have magnets on the bottom that's inside of there. That's what these little things are. So these are like my coasters that I sit my water on. They have pictures, and I got, I should have did it myself, but I haven't had a chance to yet. There's pictures where they put water in the freezer on top of organite, and when it froze into, you see that circular torrent in it. It looks like a little hurricane. Like,
Mhm.
you could actually see that the organite, the energy is interacting with water, and now your body is made of 70% water. So if you're having organite somewhere on your body, it's going to help improve you in some way, shape, or form. So
Nice.
that's another thing you put next to your bed. I got organite all over my house. Disclaimer though, if you're dealing with some shit that you're not trying to face, like some unresolved wounds and some unresolved emotional issues, it's going to pull all the negativity out so that it can be worked on. So you can get organized and your life might go crazy. So it happened to me when I first started working with organite. Oh my God, my life went crazy. So yeah, that's a disclaimer with organite that a lot of people don't talk about, because it could do some stuff. But yeah.
So anybody been keeping up to date? Oh, my bad. Ray, what you was gonna say, Ray?
Oh no, I know. I just have wanted to say I want to give a condolence to Ab from West Brighton. He passed
Oh
away
yeah,
this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
deepest
Def-
condolences.
yeah, I
Yes.
definitely want to send a definitely a big condolence to his family. Malcolm Home finest. So, you know what I'm saying? Salute you, brother.
Yeah, and,
Man.
Jennifer Byers too, someone I grew
Yeah.
up with.
Oh, Jennifer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. When I seen
Wow,
that, I
man.
was like, wow, okay, damn.
You gotta enjoy your
Somebody
life, man.
do your
Yep.
Yeah, to
best,
the fullest.
man. Do your
Yes.
best.
Do the best you
Do
can,
your
because
best.
you don't know when you're gonna be taken away. I don't care how healthy you are and how well you eat and everything. You go out there get flattened by a car. That's just how reality
Yeah.
is. You never know when
Facts.
your clock
You
get
don't
punched.
know.
So try
Yeah.
to live your life to the fullest.
If it's your time, it's your time.
It's your
You
time.
can't stop it.
You can't.
So,
Yeah, the best thing
what
to
you was
do
going
is
to say,
just
Kurt?
enjoy it. What?
I wanted to know if anybody was keeping up with the Diddy trial. Yeah,
Oh no.
I didn't realize that it was so.
Real
I
quick,
didn't realize that it was so
I gotta
many supporters
only
though.
because I posted something about this the other day. Because one of
Yeah.
the last people that I heard that Testify was Daphne Joy. That's 50 Cent's baby mother. That shit triggered the shit out of me, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm telling too much of my age, but back in 2012, when Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff was going, I was out and doing my thing with my music, right? So I had met this producer, and he wanted to work with me, and I knew that he also worked with other females in the business, that had notoriety, whatever. I'm not gonna name no names because actually, look him, he ain't gonna sue nobody. Anyway, he long story short, this dude played all types of games with me. He even took money from me, and I went to blast him on his Facebook page. This chick hit me up, Daphne Joy. And she took her whole conversation. First, she was trying to basically call me a liar, but she didn't know the whole story. I didn't give her the whole story, but she ain't know all the damn story. But either way, she was basically, after a few, dialogue back and forth, she was trying to convince me that the best way for me to get what I want is to be basically a groupie. You have to appease to them. You have to be nice. You're too rough. You're too New York. You too this. I was like, yo, fuck him. And she was like, oh, you got to be like this down the third if you want to get what you want. And da-da-da. And I wasn't trying to hear that shit because I was tight. One dude took money from me. And
she's probably right, though. But at what expense? Like, at what expense you get what you want? Like, are your integrity is going to be affected? Like, is you just going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just money. Sometimes it's good not to have the money in certain circumstances.
Well, I'll even go as far as this. Let's say I would have listened to her, right? Mm-hmm. Who would I have been hanging out with? Her. And if she was at the Diddy parties, where would I have winded up? There. Right. So here's another situation where I was saying where the universe was like, nah, you ain't going to those parties, bro.
No, if you don't want to know, you probably would have took her man 50 Cent. All right.
Listen, that definitely could have been possible.
Okay, so I want to ask you, you was in the limelight back then, so spit something for us to let these people know.
Oh shit! Yeah, we ready for it. We want to hear some, yo.
Don't put me on blast.
We want to hear some.
All right. I'll just give you a quick 16. Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm. Let's just do a quick 16. All right, I like this one. So, see, I ride like a street bike, harder than a lead pipe. When I hit him, I get him up high, half pike. Winning because I'm giving it all that I got. And as long as I'm breathing, I give them hell because I'm hot. So many dimensions in your levels attain. You fluorinated water to a system engaged. But I float on mountains and I coast on rings and drop knowledge like dollars so you'll strip some things. I'm so respected in the scepter of skill. I'm spitting with precision. I got looks to kill and headed new directions and the focus is filled. I'm so Horus and I'm on it, rising with flame and keeping it up with my name and living it up because I brave. And I'm riding on it like a horrid because I stroke the beat. No need for the meat because the mind is so sweet. I got juices that juice like oceans and creeks. Hey. Like, no, listen, I was getting it in.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
I was getting it in. And I can, people, if you want to check out my music, go to zizzolife.com. Hit your girl up. The music is on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere there's music. Find Zizzo Phoenix, Phynyx. It's up there. So yeah. Like I got bars.
Check it out, the Life Coach. You know what I'm saying? ZizzleLife.com. Check it out.
I also got a record with the legendary Karen Wheeler. If people don't know who Karen Wheeler is,
okay.
Karen Wheeler, for those that don't know, is what's even not Alpha Man, Burna Boy. He's actually the most recent person to sample her song. What was it? However do you want me? That's her. That's one of the songs, but that's not the one that he sampled.
That boy good.
But yeah, Karen Wheeler. Shout out to Karen. I love you. I miss you, girl. I know she's out in the UK. I hope she's all good and life is treating her well. But so I got a Karen Wheeler on one record. I got the legendary Johnny Juice, DJ Johnny Juice with Public Enemy. He's on one of my records. It's called Cause and Effect. That's the name of the most latest music piece or project that I put out is called Cause and Effect. I got Rockwilder. He's on like the end of one of my songs because he was helping me record one of the records.
Nice.
So you hear him at the end. I was like, that shit was good. He was like, that shit is good. And I'm like, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You know, but nah, like, you know, I got some bars. I got bars.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely that.
On one of the episodes, actually, I'll play a little something.
Yeah, you know, throw a little audio out there so that people can hear you.
Yeah, give you a little taste, so you know it's right, all right.
All right.
Thanks.
Yo,
Yeah.
the reason why I mentioned it, and the funny thing is I was mentioning Diddy only because I'm listening. All I do is listen to the Turnies. I love the way Turnies talk because they're very good speakers. And they're saying so far, at this present moment, there's a lot of damage to Diddy, but the only thing that shows right now is that he abused her as far as the sex trafficking.
So hold up, how long is this trial supposed to last?
Well, it could last as long as it could last because the fact that RICO is one of the biggest. RICO is the biggest thing you could possibly charge somebody with, and the last RICO we know about was with Young Thug, and he beat it. Brian still helped him out with it. He pretty much beat it. You know what I'm saying? And
Kelly trying to get out of jail too right now.
But Brian Steele, which is attorney for that was attorney for Young Thug, is also on Puffy's case, and he's ripping things apart. He's on Puffy's case now. He's a beast.
Some rapper just got 30 years. Oh, I forgot his name. The dude that sang Nene.
Oh, Nene. That's something.
Yeah. I just seen he got 30 years.
Damn.
For what?
I don't know, for something he got 30 years. I was like, wow.
The other cat is getting mad. What's the other cat? The one that he used to get in trouble and he started giving back to the community and doing the right thing. And Little Durk, is it Little Durk is his name? He in some shit right now. I don't think I think he's done.
Yeah.
You know, this is what bothers me. You get this money and you still out there being a gangster. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
You only running the street getting in trouble.
I said ungrateful. That's exactly why I said ungrateful. Because here it is, an artist like me that I know my ass is talented. I could get on any stage. Give me the mic. You ain't getting it back. And they're the ones that's out, you know, doing things. But it's all part of the plan. Like, look at the type of music they put out.
Yeah, and that music, and guess who's behind that music? We're not gonna say names, but those are the people that's behind it. They're the ones that pay for this. And remember, a lot of rap music is pretty much getting money from the prison company because the prisons give money to the labels give the money to the artists to keep on making that type of music, so people can keep on getting locked up and glorifying being incarcerated. So every business has its own commercial, and I think when it comes to prison, some rap music, not all, I'm not gonna put them all in the same category, but some rap music, I can understand battle rap.
Like I'll even go as far as the fact that they don't play, that they changed the frequency of music from 432 hertz. Like that alone is affecting our subconscious on levels that we don't understand. Like that shit is scrambling our frequency, basically. Like that's not a natural frequency. What they changed it to. I think they changed it from 432 to 434 or something. Like they changed the frequency. So that's one thing that's throwing people off. Then just the energy of the music, like the messages, the subconscious messages, the subliminal messages from the female artists to the way people are dressed, the way that they're putting all that stuff out, all of that is influencing behavior that is detrimental to us. You know, it really is. It's all detrimental. And then on top of that, the type of all the shit that's in the food, you know what I mean? The lack of knowledge that we're really learning in schools, like, you know, just no knowledge yourself. And that's why Awareness Academy 411 is here, because we're trying to give you information so you can have some knowledge yourself, people.
And we wasn't even we only have very little, depending on what school you go to, you get a decent amount of Black history or very little at all. Now, because of the whole stupid DEI thing, they ripping anything that's resemble Black. So if any Black accomplishment, and that's the part that I say is damning, because at least you had a few Black people that made it to white books. in school. That and then basically they didn't give the whole aspect of how good of a person you are, but they gave something. Now they're trying to make it zero. They're trying to make it only white people and white books talk about white things, and then all these black people going to these all black schools. You got learning history all about white history. They don't know nothing about black, and black history is not just
February.
It's American history too. We contribute to society as well. So saying that as woke or DEI is very irritating, you know. And people keep on saying, "Oh, Trump is not racist." Okay, cool. If he's not, all right,
Sounds
cool.
good. Sounds good, right? Nah. Well, I'll say this. I'm not disagreeing that, you know, the way our schools are set up is on some BS. However, we are in the informational age where you can get almost any information that you want at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put this ball in the court of the parents. If you are feeling like your kids are not learning XYZ, it is up to you to teach your children.
I'm just joking.
He's stupid.
They work three jobs.
Parents need to be educated so that they can educate their kids. You know what I mean? Like, don't blame everything is on the school. They're not there all day long. You know, they're with you at some point. There should be some time that you take and spend with your kids. And even if you don't know the history, at least speak love and life into your kids. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that they're amazing. Tell them that they're powerful. Tell them that they're smart. And I want to say, and this is a weird thing to say, stop rewarding your kids for doing basic shit. You know what I mean? Like, the more you're giving them and they're not putting out enough energy, you're now going to not give them that confidence they need to go harder. You know what I mean? You know, if you say, "Oh, my kid got an A on their report card, I'm gonna go buy them, $200 pair of sneakers." No.
Like, well, I mean that's kind of extreme.
You get an A on your damn report card.
No, you don't want to do it that way. You have to have a point system. Let me tell you something. Being a counselor, I learned that point system worked because I had some badass kids. I loved them. They all
I agree with 100%.
Like 28, 27 right now. All of them was a 9 to 10-year-old group I had. They're around 28, 29 right now. They were some bad ones. Some of them still my Facebook friends. They're like, "Mr. Curtis, you crazy." But that's a whole different story. But get back to the point. The point is that the reason why you want the point system is because it gives the kid the opportunity to look forward to something. They have to look.
But what I'm saying, I don't disagree with you.
It doesn't work for these kids at a young age.
I agree with a point system, but if they do one thing, you're not going to give them 10 points. They get 1 point. You know what I mean? Like you want them to keep working for each point so that they can earn it and they can build
give them a star.
Earning these things.
Each A leads to a star, and I guess you could measure in your own way how many stars they should get in order to get a prize.
Exactly. Like you don't just give them the prize right off the bat.
No,
you did a good thing. Here's the prize. Like, nah. That should culminate towards something. You know what I mean? Like that should build towards something. Just like even kids doing their chores. You know what I mean? You say that this costs, you get $1 or $5, whatever, for doing this. You get and then you add it all up. That's what you get at the end of the week or the end of the month, whatever. You know.
If you get 5 stars, you get something. You know what I'm saying? But it got to be 90 and better. You know what I'm saying? Give them, give them something to challenge them because we was challenged. These kids is not challenged.
But you know what, too, though? Challenge them on how to solve problems rather than just reading something and regurgitating it.
Exactly.
Problem solving skills is what we need.
The school system did that on purpose they made it a memorization system now because they don't want kids to go through step by step, especially with the reading. Remember they used to take the word and they break it apart? 3 different syllables. Boom, boom, boom,
they took script out of school, man. Come on.
So now it's word memorization.
How to read a clock
word. Yeah.
It gets crazy, but listen, we could keep going on and on, but I want to wrap it up. Everybody out there, again, thank you for tuning in with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. We are Awareness Academy 411. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Girl Wendy Zizzo here with Nappy Red and Kirk the Jerk, and we'll see you next week. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, bro.
Peace.